all the time if you don't watch this program. Kmart, we're going to play a game of Would You Be Shocked? And let's start with this. Would you be shocked if Aaron Rodgers is on the Vikings next season?
Greeny, I would not be shocked, only because Aaron Rodgers made sense for them last year. He makes sense for them technically now. This is a team that I think is a legit playoff team. They have all the pieces. They just need stability at the quarterback position.
So hear me out. We opened the show this morning talking about Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And you made the comment, Lewis, if the Vikings get Kyler Murray, it signals they're done with J.J. McCarthy.
To me,
actually, signing Aaron Rodgers, it feels to me, that is more the give McCarthy one more year to sort of figure things out, let Aaron hold on to it. It would almost seem like that was much more of the short-term, spot.
Oh, yeah, it definitely sends the message like, hey, look, man, you need to learn how to be a pro. You need to learn from one of the very best. We still haven't thrown in the towel on you, but you need to sit back and listen. The timetable has shifted, but we haven't thrown in the towel. Because Aaron is truly year to year. Kyler Murray ain't year to year. Kyler Murray is looking for a place where he can maybe play 5, 6, maybe 8, who knows, 10 more years. That's a totally different message if you sign Kyler Murray. A totally different one.
Nick, is Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings a good idea for either side, both sides, or neither side?
I mean, I think the Vikings is a great idea for any quarterback that can get there, considering you get a chance to throw to Justin Jefferson. However, I mean, I think that we all feel silly kind of counting Aaron Rodgers out because we know how good he has been, and he still throws the ball pretty well. But what we saw from him last year didn't seem like a championship-level quarterback. Like, he wasn't willing to stand in the pocket and get hurt. He doesn't have the athleticism to create anymore. If the Vikings believe that they're as close as I think we all think they are, I think that Aaron Rodgers is not quite at the level that you would expect for a quarterback. And I understand there aren't a bunch of quarterbacks out there that are as talented as Aaron Rodgers, but the last couple of years he's kind of shown that I think his best days are behind him, and the Vikings might be better off going somewhere else.
Maybe, but we're sort of at a restaurant with a fairly limited menu here, so sometimes you got to choose something that may not have been your first. And I didn't feel like having the salmon tonight, but I don't got better options. All right, Kim, let's go to the next one. Would you be shocked if the Browns traded the sack king, Myles Garrett?
Greeny, I would be shocked. You know why? Because they could have done this last year.
Right. So
if they didn't want to do it last year and they dug their feet in the ground and said, nope, we are sticking with Myles Garrett, why, after him winning Defensive Player of the Year and setting the sack record and all that, why move on from him now? But it's Cleveland, so nothing.
What do you think, Lou?
Yeah, I'd be shocked. I haven't looked at the contract and what the ramifications would be, but I assume it would be gigantic. They should have did this a year ago. Look, we've talked about this. We were on this show talking about this. I think right now, though, they're going to ride with him. They got to figure out everything else, namely this offensive line. If Shador is the franchise quarterback,
Deshaun is there.
Exactly. There's a lot more for them to do. I think Myles is going to be in Cleveland or in Brook Park, wherever that new stadium is going to be built.
And we'll see if that's pretty much the end of that. Kmart, let me get you to the last one here, because this is where we wanted to live. Jerry Jones said last week he expects himself to spend more money this offseason than he traditionally has. Would you be shocked if he actually does it?
Greeny, I would not be shocked, but let me offer this caveat. Jerry Jones never spends money. So him saying I'll spend more money could be a little bit than nothing. I don't know what that looks like, but I would hope that the Dallas Cowboys would be aggressive but not reckless in their offseason approach via free agency and the draft, because they're a team that needs a lot of pieces, particularly on defense.
Well, here's the thing. Hear me out on this. I touched on this earlier this morning, but I'll be serious about it with you here, Dominique. Trey Hendrickson has been on a team as recently as 2 years ago that had one of the great offensive performances ever. Joe Burrow, this is not at my hyperbole, 2 seasons ago had one of the great quarterback seasons in NFL history, and they didn't make the playoffs because the defense was so bad. The Cowboys' offense may not be that level of good, but it is most certainly playoff good, maybe even championship level good. The defense just has to get a little better. I keep hearing people talk about the Cowboys trying to trade for Maxx Crosby. They need a lot of people. In order to get a lot of people, you need to have all your draft picks. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm not trading any of those draft picks for Maxx Crosby. I'm getting a slightly lesser facsimile thereof, and I'm signing Trey Hendrickson, who as of yesterday is a free agent. What do you think?
No, it makes sense. I think it makes sense to add Trey to just about any roster, and the Cowboys are absolutely included in that. He's a pass rusher, but I think the part that makes it weird is what's hanging over all the things that the Cowboys do is the decision they made with Micah Parsons last year. It's like if you want a pass rusher, you had one. You should have figured it out. That handshake deal that Jerry Jones said that he had should have survived all the way through to the signing, not just the handshake. So that's the hard part about any decision is any money that you end up paying Trey Hendrickson would have been better spent last year giving it to Micah Parsons. So I think you're right. At this point, that's all water under the bridge, and the decisions that they make need to be to improve this defense. And paying Trey Hendrickson is certainly not a bad move, considering that they have weak spots everywhere. Filling one of them as soon as possible would be good.
Yeah, look, I agree. Look, I understand what you're saying as far as, look, keep all your powder dry in the draft to go ahead and stockpile young second and third level defenders.
Yes.
Maybe a linebacker, 2 corners.
They got 2 first-round picks to do it.
Safety, something like that.
They got spots to do it.
I get it. Look, I'm just, and Trey Hendrickson is someone who I have immense respect for. I think regardless of where he goes, he's going to be okay. I love the fit in Indianapolis. I understand why people say, well, look, Dallas is much closer to maybe being that team that's a piece away from a guy like Trey Hendrickson from being to where they want to get to than Indy. I get it. He may look at it the same way. Jerry just needs to put his money where his mouth is. Okay, so we'll see.
Can I just mention, could Jerry be learning from past mistakes now?
Learning what?
You know,
He's only been the owner for 40 years.
Could he be turning over new like Javonte Williams? I was surprised that they got that deal done before the combine even started. Obviously, they're gonna, they're gonna give Brandon Aubrey a lot of money. George Pickens, same agent as Micah Parsons, but they've made it clear like they want Pickens in the building.
Yeah. Has he learned the agent's name? Maybe that's one of the things he learned over the course of the last year. He learned the name of the agent.
Let us pray. So I don't know. This process, as far as like the whole new defensive staff, like there are enough things in Dallas that make me a little intrigued.
Nick, who wins the NFC East next year?
I think the Cowboys probably do win the NFC East next year. I think there's still questions, obviously, about what Washington's going to be with Jaden coming back. I think, obviously, the big head team up there is the Eagles. And the questions are, how's that offense going to be without Stoutland running the O-line and potentially without A.J. Brown?
That's wild, man. You know what? We want them Cowboys to be good, though.
Yeah, we do.
We just want them to be good.
And someday they're going to be. You could just
Greeny will get his wish.
And one of these days,
we want them so bad to be good.
One of these days they'll meet us halfway. Coming up, what message are the Colts sending by tagging the injured Daniel Jones? Could Indy's pursuit of one of free agency's top quarterbacks change everything? We're all over it next. You're watching Get Up on ESPN.